Many thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation, and this morning we have a very, very sensitive topic to discuss. Our children are the most precious, at all times, and they are our priority. And when we begin to, see that they are not well protected, they are not safe in places where we expect them to be safe, our homes, schools, and of course, even religious centers are no longer safe for our children. Why is this evil practice, continue to go on? We have Rose Ume, child advocate and professional counselor, who will be discussing child abuse and protection. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, beyond the physical harm of child abuse, how would you even define child abuse? Or how broad is the understanding of child abuse?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Child abuse is the ill treatment of a child by an older person or even a child. So when you maltreat a child, either physically, emotionally, you talk at the child in a very bad way, you talk down on the child, or you neglect the child, not providing the basic needs of the child. Sexual abuse also is part of it. Child labor, using children for hard labor, that will affect their development. Child marriages, children are not matured for marriages and all that, and then you tell them to go into something they are not ready for. They don't even know anything about. That's another one. Then what about the genital mutilation? Some tradition, the belief that the external genital organ of the girl child should be removed for reasons best known to them, and some other things that are other harm that are being meted to children. That is what child abuse is.
Okay, I am more interested in that. There was a particular one you mentioned earlier, which is sexual abuse, which is on the increase in our society. And oftentimes when I hear people say that you dressed in a particular way, that was what provoked the man to abuse you or to rape you. How worried are you as somebody who is interested in protecting the rights of children? Because it is not only the girl child that's the victim, even sometimes the boy child as well.
Absolutely.
People do molest them sexually. So how careful should we be as parents when leaving or granting the custody of our children to a stranger?
Okay, so in as much as we cannot allow our children to come out naked, but where the children come out naked does not guarantee that somebody should abuse a child. That person should be a protector. What you should do is tell the child to go and dress appropriately. But because these pedophiles, they are just attracted to children, they want to destroy them. You see them, they are blaming that because of the way a child is dressed. That is why. Okay, so what happens to the people, the stories we've been hearing about 6-month-old child being defiled? So is the 6-month-old child dressed in an inappropriate manner? You cannot say that. So we can't target to inappropriate dressing. Some people, I have seen some people, when they see people who are inappropriately dressed, they just tell them, when you're coming out next time, please could you dress more appropriately? That is what you should do. If you see a child that is without a pants, you should tell the child, go inside and wear something, not to start looking for a way to destroy the child.
Even when you see a child that is barely 1 or 2, what would be the attraction?
I don't know what the attraction is. There is no attraction. It's just wickedness. Because,
or it's a mental case?
Well, they could call it a mental case. Whatever it is, the person should be put away. Shouldn't be among people, because if you say it's a mental case, the person should be in a mental facility, not on the streets. Because that means the person is going to be defiling almost every child he or she sees on the road. So this is a no-no. It is not about how they dress. It's just the problem that they have. And most people who are pedophiles are just attracted to children.
Okay, I want to talk about another form of abuse, which is emotional and, of course, psychological. Children experience this sometimes, most times at home,
Yeah.
and, of course, in school.
Yes.
So, since it is not visible, how can one now identify if a child is being abused emotionally or psychologically?
Okay, thank you very much. If a child is being abused emotionally and it affects the psychological well-being of that child, you notice it by the child becomes withdrawn from maybe activities that will normally interest the child. The child could even tell you, I don't want to go to that school again. Probably the child is being abused in school, being talked down. There are certain things that are happening that someone should look out for. So you see the child being withdrawn. If the child used to have good grades, you will notice that there is a decline in the grades of the child. And you see the child will be sad, almost all the time. And sometimes the child will even be complaining of maybe stomach ache, complaining of not eating, sleeping well. There are so many things that point to a child that is being emotionally abused. And parents need to look out for this. That is if it is coming from outside. And if it is coming from the home, the child, they notice it in school. We are supposed to have counselors in schools that are supposed to detect this kind of things, and then they will call the attention of the parents that we have noticed something concerning this child. What is going on? Okay. And if you check further, you will notice that there is a form of abuse that the child is going through.
Ajibola asked a fundamental question earlier. He said, why do grown-up men, abuse or defile children? So why would any grown-up person want to cause abuse on a child, whether physically or emotionally?
Okay, so some of these grown-up people you see themselves have been abused as children. And as a result of that, it was not properly managed. When we say manage, we mean nobody cared about it. They just saw it as he will outgrow it. There is nobody that is abused as a child that forgets. They usually don't forget. And they end up becoming abusers too. Because let's talk about sexual abuse. If you abuse a child sexually, two things will happen. It's either the child continues in that abuse or the child withdraws. So the child will tend to either hate men if the abuser is a man, or a woman if the abuser is a woman.
What if it's a woman?
Yes. So child abuse can happen to anyone, irrespective of your gender, or your sex. So you see that person begin to walk in that pattern. And before you know it, this thing was done to the person as a child. And he thinks that it's a normal way of just growing. The child will not even see it as anything bad and becomes an adult. These are the long-term effects. Becomes an adult and begins to do the same thing to children because he or she was abused as a child. That is why we always ensure that people who are abused come in for counseling, come in for therapy, so that we can be able to help them outgrow.
Do they really come in?
They do come in. They do come in for the parents that understand the implication of not treating this particular.
What about an abused adult?
Do
they come out to talk about their
experience? Yes, they are beginning to come out to talk about their experiences because of the enlightenment that is going on, because of the sensitization everywhere. Okay. We go to the street, to the communities, we go everywhere, schools, churches, everywhere. Even what we are doing right here is a form of awareness, telling people that they can speak out about whatever they are going through. Okay. So if it's for a child, encourage the child to speak out. And then we believe what the child has said, And if it's for an adult, also speak out. There are people out there who will believe you and help you out of the situation.
We are in a very special society in this part of the world. So people like to name shame and they stigmatize. So how do you get that confidence to come out of your shell and report, like an example, a rape case or any other form of abuse without you being shamed at the end of the day?
Well, definitely, because of, like you said, part of the world where we are in, definitely you will be shamed, but does not mean you will not get help. So we still encourage people, irrespective of what people are going to say, still come out and speak out. You will get people who will support you, who will provide that psychological support, psychosocial support, and they will help you through the process, because we are in a place where people will want to shut you down and tell you that, oh, thing, must you go and talk about it? And also, when you're walking along the street, when they want to describe you, they will say, look at that woman that said she was raped the other time. Or that girl that said she was raped. So they keep pointing these things back at you. But
like the fault was yours.
Yes, as though the fault was yours. But you just have to build that confidence that if one person can believe you, then you can scale through it. Yes.
Okay, so from what I've read so far, from your experience, share some of your experiences with us. People have also said that most people that abuse girls mostly now, usually uncles or people that are very close to them. What are those flashes of signs that one can see to actually know that
Okay, so most of the abusers, the people who abuse children, are not far from them. And the reason is because the family kind of build a confidence around children that, oh, this is your father's brother, this is your mother's brother, this is this person, this is this person. But right now, the kind of education we are giving children concerning people that they live with around their homes or around their vicinity or even in the religious places is that you have to call people by their names. Don't say uncle, uncle. Even the person that is a distant person or is even your father's friend, you begin to call the person uncle. And because of that, there is so much familiarity. And these pedophiles or these people who abuse children, they kind of groom them. They groom children to the point where they build confidence. So when they come in, they are no longer seeing the person as that uncle. They are seeing the person as part of them. The children begin to see the person as part of them. Because when they are coming, they could come with gifts. And if there is no control from the home front where you put like a limit to what the child can accept, the child will just fall with it and be like, oh, uncle gave me this, uncle did that, uncle did. Before you know it, they begin to penetrate. They begin to do certain things. So parents should be very watchful. They should try to address this problem from the home. Tell every child, when this person, Mr. So person came, Daddy, what am I supposed to do? Not uncle came. And then the uncle comes in the absence of the parent, and the child will just let the person in because he feels he's an uncle. So we should put, a space where children can know that this is where they have to draw the line, so that they don't keep going and calling everybody uncle and auntie.
But we have also had cases of fathers abusing their daughters.
Yes, that is a very serious case, because I have handled such case before, where the father abused not just one of the children, but about two of them. And it was a very terrible case because...
Was it for ritual?
It wasn't for ritual. Their mother actually died. And after the woman died, their father now started using the girls for his sexual satisfaction. And the case was reported to us, Child Protection Network, Lagos State. And we took up the case, we handled it. The man was in prison and he was going to court while we placed those girls in a facility where we were providing psychosocial support and all that support, and they needed to also go back to school. Those children, they finished school and their father had to face the jail time.
Okay,
yes.
What you just spoke about is very, very, very heart-wrenching, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And as a neighbor or teacher, and you notice such is going on, how do you report it safely? I have to put that word, safely.
Yes.
How do you report it safely?
Okay, so in our course of rescue, that's for the Child Protection Network Lagos State, we have rescue officers who have been trained to do this rescue thing. And for the people that we go out to in the community, we always tell them that you can report cases. You don't need to tell us your name.
Okay.
You don't need to tell us where you live.
Okay.
But just tell us about where that incident occurred. And if you can gather information concerning that case, please go ahead and do so. Give us all the information so that by the time we are moving in, we are not moving in like a novice. And we don't even move in on our own. What we do, we take the information to the security agent, which is the police, and then they move in with us, and then we take up the case. We don't have to go and start telling them, this person told us. So we call them mandated reporters.
Well, okay, beyond the sexual abuse, like we rightly mentioned, you have cited cases of emotional abuse, psychological abuse. In some schools, and even on the part of parents as well, they put unnecessary pressure on their children, trying to compare them with their counterpart in school, saying that, okay, your performance is this, look at Lagbaja is doing so well, why can't you up your game? And then you begin to put a lot of pressure on that child. So how do you manage such in a way that the child will not feel inferior as a result of that abuse?
Okay, so
do you get reports about that too?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Last week I was on a program where I spoke about academic stress on children. Okay. It's a form of abuse because the children are worn out. By the time you begin to compare them, it's not even advisable to compare children because every child is unique. And they come, they also understand probably subjects that you're teaching them in a unique way. So some children are slow learners. So for a child that is a slow learner, are you going to be pushing the child, oh, you're not doing well, rather than understand why that child is a slow learner and then meet the school authority, find ways around helping the child to become better. When you compare children, you bring down their esteem. Their self-esteem is reduced. They no longer have confidence. They begin to, you can even bring up, you can stir up jealousy in them. So it has its own negative effects. And it's a form of abuse because it's definitely going to affect the child mentally.
I've had a child, let me play off the scenario. I've had a child say this before to her. Her mother was the one saying it, and I had to correct her later that she asked her son, what time are you writing your exams and you're not studying? Your sister, when she's writing exams, she behaves in a particular way, she's always serious. And why are you always, why can't you be like, I didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me. So when the child moved away, I had to talk to her, that you're damaging that child.
Yes.
How bad is that type of abuse?
It is really bad because, like I said, it's going to reduce the child's self-esteem. You cannot compare. There are some children that, like, I am one of them, that when I listen to my lecturer or my teacher teach, I pick what he has said. If I have to write my exam, those things I jot down are enough for me to study. I don't have to go and carry the whole textbooks. And some people will carry the whole textbooks. So parents need to understand the pattern of their children. Not every child must put all their head down that they are reading just to pass an exam. Some children learn by just looking or by listening. So you need to understand how your child learns and help the child improve in that aspect so that the child can become better. It destroys their self-confidence. It destroys it. And the child that is able or can do that particular subject and pass very well we begin to think just because I didn't study the way my sister was studying, maybe I'm not going to be good.
Today's children are very weak. We were compared a lot. I mean, Ajibola.
Yes, we were.
This person had 2 heads.
We were. And it was abuse. It was a big abuse, but we didn't count it as that back then.
Okay, let's look at protection laws now. In Lagos, we have the Lagos Child Protection Law, and we also have the Child Rights Act. Yes. How effective are these laws in real life situations?
They are very effective. I'm not a lawyer. If I had my lawyer colleagues, maybe they will be able to speak about that, but those laws are very effective. And you won't know they are effective except these people who are abused come out to speak and speak to the right people. Because it's one thing for you to speak, it's another thing for you, for that information to get to the right channel. So that they can help push for you to get justice. But those laws are working. I know about, there are so many cases I have been in court for, and they got justice. So many of them. And it's only because those cases were heard. So if cases are not heard, you won't know these laws are working, but they are actually working. Yes.
Okay, have you had cases whereby people report a particular parent depriving his or her child access to education, or using them for child labor as maid or so, and how do you handle such?
Absolutely, we've had such cases. And like I said, every form of abuse is taken seriously. We do not joke with anyone, whether child labor.
Because we seem to focus more on sexual abuse, forgetting that if your child is not in school, it's an abuse.
Yes, it is.
If you force your child into
doing what he or she
it's
abuse.
Not supposed to, it's an abuse.
Yes,
because you see teenagers serving as maid in various homes, and people are not doing anything about it.
No, we are. In fact, recently they passed the law for child labor, that if you have someone who is a child working as a domestic staff, should be reported.
Another form of child abuse is when parents force a child, compel them to do a particular course in the university.
Is that an abuse?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Because the child is never going to become... Yes, you're forcing that child to do what he or she does not want to do. That is why we keep going out to sensitize. We don't only sensitize children. We even go for parent-teachers meetings where we sensitize parents. Find out what your child is good at and build it, encourage it. Some children want to study law, but even at studying law, they are very good in drawing. So, yes, they want to study law. While they are waiting to study law, why don't you, during their long vacations, put them in a school where they can go and perfect their drawing? You never can tell the one that will put food on your table. So we need to enhance that thing that children have inside of them. So if a child wants to study, like maybe music, it's not wrong. Just encourage the child. Make sure that, keep talking to the child that, oh, this music can be learned in a better way. You know, what about when you start doing your business as a music producer, so that people don't cheat you? That is the reason why you need to go to school, study it properly in school, and then come out, know the business aspect of it, and handle your business well. So rather than compel the child, why would you even want to compel a child to go and study medicine when the child is not interested in all these things? The child will become a failure.
The parents are the one paying now.
You'll become a failure.
So my mom
do what I asked you to do.
Okay, so
my mom abused me.
What did your mom force you to do? Broadcasting.
To know mathematics. To know mathematics.
She was a nurse.
Okay.
So she was appealing to me that, oh, anytime she's in the ward and young doctors come around, she's always impressed as she tries to study medicine. After a while, she changed from medicine to nursing. But unfortunately for her, I was poor in biology, I was poor in physics, I was poor in maths.
Chemistry.
And you ended up as a journalist, or...
Which is what I've always wanted.
Exactly. So you used one word, appealing to you, not compelling you.
So she didn't abuse you.
So she didn't abuse you. She was appealing to you. So she was trying her luck to see if you will accept. And if you were good in those subjects and you were interested, you would have ended up a medical doctor. Yes. Okay,
assuming there is a rape case now, and the family of the victim are like, oh, I don't want anybody to body shame my daughter or stigmatize her. Please leave the angle of the law. We'll manage, we'll survive, she will move on with her life. What do you do in such situation?
We're just having this discussion on our platform. That was like 3 days back. You know, the way it's supposed to be is that the mother is supposed to be the one at the forefront, ensuring that the daughter gets justice. But where that is not happening, for that kind of case, they are beginning to pass the law that it becomes an offense of, it's in fact, it's a case between the state and the perpetrator. And also, if the mother is beginning to refuse, they are still trying to pass it. The mother is also rubbed in as an enabler or as somebody who is also enabling that crime. So parents should speak up and get justice for their children. It's not just about being stigmatized. What about the child in the long run? What about the child? It is because what we do or what we believe in is the best interest of the child. And because we talk about the best interest of the child, everything that will make the child be whole is what we are looking at. If you deny that child of getting justice, of getting psychosocial support, and all other supports the child is supposed to have so that the child can live above the incident that has happened to that child, you are also abusing that child. It's also an abuse because the child can never be
yourself again.
The same again. It can never be the same. For people who have gone through rape and all that, we are really helping them to build back a better life. The trauma does not go off, but they can manage the trauma if they are helped.
Okay, you talked about engagements, that you go to schools for PTA meetings to engage parents. What about other form of engagements like the community, where all this manner of abuse, child abuse happen, but they don't really they don't really understand it fully. Do you go to communities and other places to engage people on the forms of child abuse?
We do. Recently, we go to the grassroots, as in into the streets, corners, everywhere. We go everywhere. Recently, we had a program that was a collaboration between the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency and Child Protection Network and other NGOs. Like I belong to Mom Empowerment Foundation. Their project director, we all came together, NGOs, CSOs, everyone, even the people in the, in local governments. We all came together. We had sensitization in the communities. We went down. We had people who were speaking Yoruba, people who were speaking Igbo, English, Hausa. So all those bike men, we had people who were talking to them.
Yes.
We went down, as in we were all over the place. And we did this thing in almost all the local governments in Lagos State. So it was not just one part receiving it. Everywhere in Lagos State benefited from that grassroots program. So we do our sensitization everywhere. And I must commend Lagos State. They are trying in terms of curbing this child abuse cases. They are really trying. And there is a slogan that says, "Not in my Lagos." So we do not tolerate any form of abuse in Lagos State.
All right, let's talk about corporal punishment now. I've had instances wherein people wanted to punish a particular child, and the way he or she was flogged was like you are flogging a goat or an animal, and people use all kind of instruments or gadgets. Some use iron as well.
Yes.
Trying to punish a child. What do you do in such situations, and what kind of cases have you had in that line?
In fact, we have a very recent case just 2 days ago. The case happened on Friday in a school somewhere in Ojo, and the child protection rescue team, they are working on that case at present.
What happened?
I thought flogging had been banned in schools in Lagos State.
Okay,
schools.
so this one was not in school. A child is a domestic worker for someone at home, and the child is being flogged at every given time. In fact, my boss that took the report of that case, because she was in that school and the girl fainted at the gates. So after reviving her, they now had to probe and find out what is going on with her. By the time she said she was beaten at home just because she refused a stale food that was given to her, and this food is always given to her every time. But this particular one, she didn't want to eat it and she threw it away. The woman pounced on her that morning, beat her to stupor. That was why she fainted. By the time they opened her clothes, her body was like greater.
Oh.
Yes. I can't show the pictures here. Her body was like greater. So what we do in such cases, we take the information from the girl and we report immediately to the police. The police will visit the home and make sure they make an arrest. When they arrest, the child will have to remain with maybe the ministry or whoever that takes in the child for the meantime while they're attending to the child, providing all the support she needs. The family or the person, the perpetrator, will be in police custody until the mother of the child will be called to come down, to come and take the child, because she will no longer live in that house. It's not...
So as adults, as parents, as teachers, as religious leaders, as an older person or someone at advantage, how do we start to create safe space for children in the home, in the school, and of course online?
Okay. Yes.
there's online abuse, online cyberbullying.
Yes. Okay, so we need to, like, what we are doing is part of it. We have to keep talking about sensitizing people. On our religious space, we need to start talking about these things because they are happening even in the churches, in the mosques, everywhere. Abusers don't have a particular place where they perpetrate this thing.
There's no limits.
There's no limits. They do it everywhere. So we need to talk more about them. We don't have to shy away from it. Everything is in the open now. If you're not talking about it, the children are saying it from the internet.
Mostly religious places.
Yes, they try to shy away from
Sunday
it.
schools,
Yes, they need to be talking about it. And most religious places are beginning to take in this message and they are disseminating it to the children that they cater for. Because I am also a Sunday school teacher and I know that we talk about it in my church. You understand? So we have to talk about this thing everywhere. There's no limit on the streets because the space with which they perpetrate this evil, it doesn't even take them time. You can send the child to go and buy something. Before the child would get back, something bad would have happened. So we have to keep talking about this thing everywhere. And parents, they have a lot of work to do. You cannot be with your child everywhere, but you can give your child the right information that the child will carry everywhere and also learn how to protect his or herself.
You see, we've been very, very sentimental so far. We kept saying she, forgetting that we also have he as well. And then they also experience one form of abuse or the other. From your experience, am I not correct?
You are perfectly correct. In fact, the reason why the boys don't talk, I don't know whether the parents are, I don't know how.
Is this thing we put in their heads?
Yes,
boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry, boys don't talk, they are actually, a child is a child, whether boy or girl, and any child can face any form of abuse. Even the boys, they are being lured into becoming gays. And this thing starts from as low as when they are in secondary school. Some children are in male school.
What about cultism?
What about cultism? So all these things are going on. The school have to push this message. They have to uphold child protection. It has to be one of their high points. When I mean high points, you come on assembly, you have to frown at it. If you are caught doing this thing, you'll be expelled. There is no begging about it. You shouldn't even be caught doing it. Do not play with another person's genitals. The other person, everybody stay on your own. These genitals are not supposed to be played with. They are private parts. So we need to spell out these things to our children. So whether male or female, they need to have this information because boys are being abused on a daily basis. And I even found that realized recently that they even have a club where they go to and, boys and boys, they perpetrate this evil, boys to boys. So all these people who are doing these things have been introduced at some point. And you see them growing into that and then becoming that.
I can imagine what children will be facing in terms of abuse. You just mentioned boy to boy now having a sexual relationship. What I'm going to say now is going to shock my colleague. There was a day I was on a street and some boys were walking along my path, and all of a sudden they grabbed my private parts.
Jesus.
They wore lipsticks, you know, eyelashes, and they were like, "What's wrong with you? We're just playing with you." Younger boys. It was around 7.
Ajibola,
Yes. It was around 7.
was he shocked that did not allow you react?
I was shocked.
Because just
Yes.
When I saw
Shocked.
lipstick on their
would have
leaves,
slapped.
You just knew who they were. And you didn't give them a dirty slap.
I was shocked.
It was out of
And before I could recover,
React, they had
they're
moved.
gone.
Yes, they had moved.
Such an open place.
They are everywhere.
Okay, I want us to talk about online bullying.
Okay.
And our children are always with this gadgets, phones, laptops, and of course iPads and all. How do you prevent or protect a child from online abuse, popularly known as cyberbullying?
Okay, before you begin to talk about protecting, one of the ways to protect is, please.
Or identify first how
Okay, before
a child is being abused online.
When I go to speak in different places, I always tell people, if you have a child that is not through with secondary school,
They have no
please do
business.
not give them an Android phone. Do not. Don't say it's a cake. Don't say how will they do the assignments. How will they do this? If you have to assist them with the assignments, be present. So when they are using those gadgets, be there with them. Yes. Because most parents are lazy. They are not teaching the children how to navigate.
You just took the
through,
word
yes,
out of my mouth.
how to
They are
navigate through
lazy.
this internet, and then you just throw one Android phone at them.
Yes.
And then these children start entering everywhere. Even when they don't enter, there is this thing that drops on the phone. Because probably you have clicked on something, something will start dropping. Before you know it, they're exposed to all manner of things.
And they're
So,
curious.
yes, and then coming to protecting them, when you have given them this phone, please train them on how to use this Android phone. Don't be lazy. You went to wherever to buy this phone. You should also train them. And they have these apps that locks children out
All these
at a
gadgets
particular
have
time.
child
So they have a
protection.
time. They have a time that they need to be on that app. There is also this app that also connects you with what they are doing
and you
online.
can
So
see.
you can
Yeah.
have all these things put in your phone
Yeah.
or in your own gadget so that you can monitor what they do. But first of all, give them the training on how to navigate through the internet. Tell them there is what they call sexting. Sending your nude pictures to somebody online. It is common, especially with our girls. They will tell them, even the boys, they will tell them, snap yourself naked and send to me. They will keep doing all these things. But if
And
you
then
have,
later use it against
they
them.
will use it against you because they have to blackmail you to bring money and do other things with it. So we need to, information is key. Train our children on how to navigate through internet. And if there is anybody bullying you on the internet, please do not hesitate to speak out, because these bullies will want to shut you up, tell you that if you tell anyone, they will kill you. Because the child is not
Even
mature.
rapists do that as well.
Yes, they do that as well. The child is not matured enough, or doesn't have the right information, or doesn't have the confidence to speak out. The child will remain there until, like the case we heard some time ago, the child had to take his own life because somebody was bullying him
2 boys
online.
were bullying
Yes,
him. I
thank
remember
you.
the story.
Okay, there is one other thing I want us to discuss this morning before we wrap up the show. Although it's not very common in this part of the country compared to the northern parts, child marriage.
Oh,
That is also another form of abuse.
of course it
It's
is.
a form of abuse.
It is. It is. Child marriage, like you said, is so common. The other day, I was walking into somebody's building. I saw a very young girl carrying a child.
In Lagos,
In
yeah?
fact, yes, in Lagos here. She is an Aboki's wife.
Okay.
Very small girl. When I mean small, I'm sure she's the age, that is if she's up to the age of my daughter. you will know
How
that
old is your daughter?
she's 16. She is not even up to 16. If you see her, you know she's a child. I couldn't take away my eyes probably because of my profession. Quickly I asked the woman, I said, what is that girl doing there? She said, that girl is the man's wife. I said, what? That's baby carrying another baby. So this is what you see, and we really need to put laws in place to protect children in the North, especially. There are too many young children who are giving out in marriage. They don't even know what it is. They are not even trained. They don't even know. They are not even supposed, because their reproductive system is still developing. So they are not even supposed to carry a baby. But they make them carry these children and they deliver and they start having all sorts of ailments, complications and all that. Please, we need to put an end to child marriage. It's a no-no. It's a form of abuse, and it is killing a lot of our female children, especially in the North.
So again, just before we go, what's your message to children currently in abusive situations, and of course, how can everybody take action?
Okay, for children who are being abused, please find the voice to speak out. Somebody is out there to believe your story and to help you out the situation. And for parents, please ensure that you protect your children. And for those children who are not abused yet, please protect yourself. You know somebody who is going through any form of abuse, whether physical abuse, emotional abuse, neglect, or whatever, please report the case and let's help as many children as possible out there. Even out of school children, they are liable to be abused. So every child should be in school. Let's uphold the rights of children by making sure they go to school, they are protected. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what would you say about the recent move of the Senate, wherein they are trying to pass a law that anybody that rapes or engages in child marriage will be sentenced to life imprisonment? What do you think would be the impact of this bill eventually when it becomes law?
If it becomes law and it is being implemented, the impact will go a long way to deterring others from perpetrating this evil. Because by the time you know 1, 2, 3 people around you that has been jailed, life imprisonment, not the one that will give life imprisonment and after some time they will bring them out. The ones that will be there and they will be there. If they decide to change in the prison, fine and good. But so by the time these things are, the law is passed and then it's being implemented, it will help a lot, because a lot of people will know that if I try it, I'll be jailed.
Okay, there was a question that had been put to you the other time as to how we can safeguard our children from being abused. I have a policy. I have a daughter, but I have never lapped my daughter. Even when she's inside the room, I'll knock and ask for her permission for me to come inside.
Absolutely.
So are those part of the things that parents can also do as well?
Yes.
Because if I, as your father, cannot lap you, then why would any uncle want to lap you?
That is the education we are talking about. The parents must always educate their children concerning self-protection. Nobody should. I mentioned about calling everybody uncle. Please start calling them by their name so that there will be a little distance. You know some children, when a visitor comes, they will run and go and embrace the visitor. It's a no-no. We should discourage that in the home, such that our children should know that when somebody comes in, good morning, sir. That's enough. Somebody tries to lap you or carry you, even carrying, there is a way somebody will carry a child. It's not comfortable. Please go and collect your child and bring the child down. Let's learn to teach our children age-appropriate information that will help them also protect themselves. I've come across some children who will tell you, no, we don't do this in our home. Or they will tell you, no, I'm not supposed to do this. So we want such children who will be bold enough to speak out their mind and protect their rights.
Okay, as a religious-centric nation, everybody goes to church, everybody goes to the mosque. What role does religion play, either positively or negatively, in protecting children?
They are supposed to play a very vital role, because You know, when you go to church or you go to the mosque, whatever your pastor says or your imam says, you tend to believe it. People trust them. Yes.
But they also
And
take advantage of them.
they are part of
Yes.
their
So that is why I want those religious people to begin to talk about this topic. Because when you talk about it to your people that you are shepherding, they will listen to you and they will take it seriously. So rather than become the abuser, please help us carry the message, because nobody is exempted from the law. If you are a religious person and you perpetrate the crime, you will be jailed. And when we will want to jail you, me, even if you are my pastor in my church, I am not interested in who you are. I will make sure the law takes its course, because what you have done is that you have succeeded in destroying the life of a child. That is what you have done. You have succeeded in destroying the life of a child. And we do not need that in our community. So they need to play a vital role by projecting this message that we are talking about here.
Okay, you know, Ajibola said something earlier, and that's what's bringing this question. Are there common gender dimensions to abuse? Are girls more abused than boys?
Yes, the girls are more vulnerable to abuse than boys. In as much as the cases of boys are increasing these days, but the girls are the people who are more on the front line of this crisis that we are talking about. They are the ones who are the ones that receive this abuse more. Yeah.
So now the police. The police.
police.
Yeah. What's the role of police in child protection cases?
Wow, they play a very vital role, because all the arrests we make for those people who are abused comes through them. So the reporting line is that if you find a case, or a case is reported to you that there has been an abuse, you are not supposed to go there all by yourself. The first thing you do is report to the police. Then the police is supposed to accompany you to the place where the crime was perpetrated, and they will be able to make the arrest.
The Nigerian police.
Yes.
Who have also been accused of being
Yes.
abusers.
Of condemning victims.
Okay.
Sometimes, not
yes,
all of them.
Yes, not all of them. That is why the place of the NGOs shouldn't be underrated, because if you report a case to us and I go there and I'm wearing my rescue jackets, you can't turn me down as a police person. You must attend to that case. The case must come to the police station. Do you understand? So we have people who are, but if you just go, like maybe the mother to the mother of the child that was abused, you just walk into the police station and you just report. You will see them, they will start abusing the child. If the child is like 16 years and maybe the child is well-rounded, has bust, has back, they will say, this one, are you sure she was not enjoying it? That is what they will start. Are you sure? And the child is just 16 or 15. And they are telling you, this one, they will just talk down on the child. So the NGO, in as much as it's not supposed to be so, cases that come to the police station should be taken seriously. Listen to them, hear them, and then take up that case as a major case. The police people, they come for trainings with us. They are always there. We always invite them for trainings. They even go for all these sensitizations with us. So they should do better. They should know the place where they are the role they are supposed to play in ensuring that they protect victims of abuse, not to downgrade them. I cannot be, all the NGOs cannot be there at all the time. But if somebody walks into the police station and reports a case, it should be handled right. Not that they will be meddling with it.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Protecting a child is protecting our future. Everyone has a role to play in our homes, schools, religious centers, communities. We have a role to play to ensure that no child suffers in silence. Thank you very much, Rose Ume, for sharing your thoughts and insights on child abuse and protection. Rose Ume is a child advocate and professional counselor. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation will continue.